Most students try to graph exponentials the hard way: tables, calculators, and guessing. In this video, I'll show you how to graph any exponential or logarithmic function in seconds using transformations only, no memorization, no guesswork. Today, we are graphing exponential and logarithmic equations using transformations. We'll start with the parent function y equals 2 to the power of x, then transform it step by step to graph y equals 2 to the power of x plus 3 in brackets minus 1. I'll show you how to identify shifts, asymptotes, intercepts, domain, and range, all visually and logically, the exact way these questions appear on tests and exams. And to be very clear that the parent graph is y equals 2 to the power of x. You just do a table of values where, if x is 1, then 2 to the 1 is 2. If x is 2, 2 to the 2 is 4. And if x is 3, 2 to the 3 is 8, and so on. So that's what you're using, or the points that you're using for transformations to be able to graph y equals 2 to the power of x plus 3 minus 1. Now, I'm going to find the x-intercept first, and then the y-intercept, and then the equation of the asymptotes. And after we graph it, we're going to tell what the domain and range is. Okay. So here, the x-intercept, all you need to do is make y 0. So I'm just going to do this on the side here. So if you make y 0 equals 2 to the power of x plus 3 minus 1, I'm going to move the negative 1 to this side. So it becomes positive 1 equals 2 to the power of x plus 3. Now I know 2 to the 0 gives you 1, so I'm just going to change that to 2 to the power of 0 equals 2 to the x plus 3. Now we could cancel the bases now, and we have 0 equals x minus x plus 3, and therefore x equals negative 3. So my y-intercept, and I'm going to use a different color for the graph, is going to be at negative 3. So it's right here. Okay. Now let's calculate the y-intercept. And the y-intercept, we make x0 in the formula for the equation and solve for it. So the y-intercept will be y equals 2 to the power of 0 plus 3 minus 1. 2 to the power of 0 plus 3, that's 2 to the power of 3, which is 8, minus 1 is 7. So the y-intercept is 7. Now, the equation of the asymptote is the x-axis here. So the only thing that's going to affect the asymptote is any vertical shift. And as we see, the vertical shift for this graph is going down 1. So that means this asymptote is going to go down 1. So I'm just going to draw an asymptote. Yeah. Also, now I have the x-intercept, the y-intercept. What I'm going to do, the transformations that's happening to this graph compared to y equals 2 to the power of x, the graph is moving 3 to the left, the x plus 3, and down 1 because it's minus 1. So let's take some of this point and move them to the left 3, 1, 2, 3, down 1. So that's just the x-intercept. Now let's take this, move it 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1 down. Let's take this, move it 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1 down. So now, again, we're just going to go back to the shifts. So it's shifting 3 to the left and 1 down. And basically, that's the y-intercept. We already calculated that. Okay. So that now we know our x-intercept is negative 3. Y-intercept is at 7. And the equation of the asymptote. Now the asymptote is this dotted line right here. And this dotted line is y equals negative 1. Because always y here is negative 1. The x changes, but y is always negative 1. The domain, let's graph this. So it's going to get very close to the asymptote, never touch it. and we have this, and this is how y equals 2 to the power of x plus 3 minus 1 looks like. Yeah, so that domain, the domain for any exponential function is x ER. It means x is a member of all real numbers that covers all the x values from negative infinity to infinity. But the range, if you look under the asymptote, the graph here, the blue graph is not represented. So it starts from -1 on, and -1 is not included because you get close to it, but you never touch it. So the range would be y is greater than -1. And that's how you graph this exponential function. Now I'm gonna erase everything and I'm gonna show you how to graph y equals log base 2 x plus 1, close the bracket, minus 3. I'm just gonna keep the y equals 2 to the power of x plus 3 minus 1. At the end, I will talk about something that you should know about logarithms and exponential functions. So I'm going to graph the parent graph first. And the parent graph for the log looks like this. You go through 1 and 2 and 1, 4 and 2, and 8 and 3. And the y-axis is the asymptote. So this would look like this. My hand is usually shaking, so I'm very impressed with myself today because I could graph this without going all over the place. So this graph here is the y equals log base 2 x. Okay. Now a lot of you, like for me, I could just sub in points. Like if I sub in 1 for x, then I go 2 to the power of what gives me 1, that's going to be 0. And then when x is 2, then I go 2 to the power of what gives me 2, that's 1. So that's why we get 2 and 1. And when x is 4, so if we make x is 4, so I'm saying 2 to the power of y equals 4, so y must be 2. And then if x is 8, then I go 2 to the power of 3 equals 8, and that's why you have 8 and 3. And of course, when we're graphing the log, we're going to find the x-intercept, y-intercept, the equation of the asymptotes, and the domain and range for the log transformed function, which is y equals log base 2 brackets x plus 1, close bracket, minus 3. Okay, so some of you have to remember your log rules and how to manipulate logs and stuff like that. So now let me find the x-intercept first. To find the x-intercept, I make y 0. So I'm going to take that right here, and I'm going to say, okay, if I want to find the x-intercept, I make y 0 equals log base 2 x plus 1 minus 3. Moving the -3 to the other side, so I get 3 equals log base 2 x plus 1. And then I want to change this to exponential form, so I go 2 to the power of 3 gives me x plus 1, which is 2 to the power of 3 is 8, and then move the 1 to the other side, becomes minus 1, x equals 7. That's the x-intercept. So I'm going to plug in my x-intercept, which is right here. How about the y-intercept? The y-intercept, all we need to do is just make x 0. So y equals log base 2, 0, plus 1, minus 3, which is y equals log base 2, 1, minus 3. Log base 2, 1 is 0, because 2 raised to the 0 gives you 1. So just know if you log in, doesn't matter what the base is. If you log in 1, it's always 0. So 0 minus 3, and therefore the y-intercept will be minus 3. So the y-intercept is going to be right here at minus 3. Okay. Now, let's use transformations here. So if we're doing transformations, I know this moved 1 to the left because of the x plus 1 here, and then 3 down because of that minus 3. So we know in the log graph, the y-axis is the vertical asymptote. So the vertical asymptote could only be affected by horizontal shift. So that means this asymptote moved one to the left. So your asymptote is going to be right here. So I'm just going to draw your asymptote first. And now we're going to translate the points 1 to the left and 3 down. Yeah, so I'm going to take some of these points right here. So let's start at this. Move it 1 to the left and 1, 2, 3 down. So that's just the x-intercept. This became the x-intercept. Let's take this, move it 1 to the left, 1, 2, 3 down. And then let's take this, move it 1 to the left and 1, 2, 3 down. And then take this, move it 1 to the left and 1, 2, 3 down, which is my y-intercept. Again, we're just going to connect these points. We're going to get very close to the asymptote. Wow, I'm very impressed with myself today. I could make a straight line through this pen here, which is very shaky, and it looks nice and smooth. And therefore, this is the equation of y equals log base 2 x plus 1 minus 3. Okay. Now, let's write the x-intercept here. The x-intercept is 7. The y-intercept is -3. The equation of the asymptotes is this vertical line, and it's x equals -1. The domain here, if you look at this green, bright green graph, you know it doesn't touch the -1, and anything after the -1 on the x-axis going to the right to positive infinity, that's the domain. So therefore, the domain is x is greater than, but not equal to, -1. And the range, this keeps on going forever down and keeps on going, even though slow, but it will go up forever. So the range will be y is all real numbers. All right. Now I said at the beginning, I chose these two graphs because these two graphs are the inverse of one another. And how do we know? We're going to check out the points, because you know the inverse basically inverse the points. So if you have a point that's 5 and 4, the inverse will have a 4 and 5. So let's check out the two graphs and see if that's happening. Let's look at this point at -3 and 0. So if you have a point at -3 and 0, the inverse of it will be 0 and -3. So do we have a point at 0 and -3? Yes, indeed. There's 0 and -3. Do we have a point at -2 and 1? What's the inverse of that point? It's 1 and -2. Inverse means you're inversing the 2 points. Do we have a point at 1 and -2 here? Yes, we do. And then here we have -1 and 3. Which gives me, for the inverse, that's going to be 3 and -1. Okay, and we have 3 and -1. And therefore, these two graphs are the inverse of one another. And you know the inverses are a mirror image of each other in the line or the diagonal line y equals x. So notice what just happened here. The exponential graph and the logarithmic graph are inverses of each other. They are mirror images across the line y equals x. Once you understand transformations, you don't need to memorize formulas. You can see how these graphs behave. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching. See you next time.